Good morning. See, standardization is supposedly what Dr. Bhattacharya mentioned is very complex. I don't think so. It's supposed to be, but it is not. Because it's the way that you look at it. I have been a design engineer, practicing design engineer since 81 or maybe even before when I was working for some organization. But as a business people, as a design engineer, as a engineers or whatever, within our respective professions, we are always a user of standards. Okay, and I think the best guys to write new standards or to identify gaps in the standards that are being formed by any global or national SDOs are the users themselves. And as a design engineer, since I was using the standards, I understood the importance of them and I started identifying gaps. That's what excited me and motivated me to get into this game. And today I'm spending my more than 60% time in standardization. Okay, and why it is very important. Interoperability per se is very, very critical aspect in any aspect of life. Whether it's a languages, communicating, unless we are able to understand each other, we can start from that. You know, that's such a standard itself. Each language has its own standard. It's supposed to be standard. You may not consider them as standard because nobody notifies them as a nation or a state. But right from there to all these smart cards, the mobiles, credit cards we use, they are all standard based. So that is saying that. Now we are talking about new paradigms, and particularly in the digital health and the medical. One of the paradigms is active assisted living. Okay, in IEC and ISO, there's a lot of work going on this, and in fact, currently right now, IEC System Committee on Active Assisted Living is holding one of the plenary meetings in Beijing today and tomorrow. And we do not have any representative from India sitting there. And why it is important to understand the global standards and actively participate in the global standards as a nation? India is a big consumption market for everybody. If we do not have our point of view on what global standards are being developed, whether they are for systems, solutions, technologies, or medical devices, and when we will be forced to adopt them, and they will be forced fitted into our requirements. And that may create a lot of disconnects, and for the users as well as the people who are trying to sell those products, systems, solutions to Indian consumers. So how do we build that? The thing is that we understand our own problems. We take those perspectives to the global standardization tables, wherever, whatever relevant, whether it's health informatics, whether it's medical devices, whether it is communication technologies, and then we bring in some harmonization that, look, these are the perspectives. Everybody is looking at India as a big consumption market, but if those standards are not, they don't meet our requirements, they will create a lot of gaps. So, and one of the major things is that when these global standards are being formed, there are two aspects. What Dr. Bhattacharya mentioned, we vote, abstain, support it, approve it, or reject it. But the other thing is, we give our comments. We don't need to simply say yes, no, or abstain. We can share that, look, these are the things, but these are through an additional perspective that we need to add into a particular standard, because these are the kind of things that we as a nation or our citizens might need to be addressed. So these are some of the things I can talk about the extreme more. And when we talk about standardization, there are a couple of 3-4 things. One is medical devices. That is communication protocols and technologies for interoperability. Then we have this digital health platform. Health platform, like we are talking smart cities. In smart cities, what we have is multiple utilities are going to use ICT to improve their operational efficiencies. How do they do that? So does it make sense for each utility to set up their own ICT backbone? We feel no. So what we're trying to come up with a unified framework for end-to-end ICT backbone for all smart city stakeholders to leverage rather than setting up their own ICT backbone. That will bring operational efficiency, that will bring the cost down on the capital expenditure as well as operational expenditure. So these are some of the paradigms that we are working on. Similarly in health, do we have a framework? I heard there was some time back there was some health exchange, some RFPs or biddings for the we do not, are we doing it in an architectural base with a proper framework building, or we're just trying to patch up a few different things and trying to create an animal which is supposed to be solving our problem? I think there's some food for thought. I think these are the points that we would like to discuss in the afternoon. Thank you.